All right, let's get into this. Let's get down to business, your business. If you're here, you're probably in one of a few places. You know you should be doing video, but you're not doing it consistently, or you're completely overthinking it, or you just don't know what to say. And I want to start by saying you are not alone in that. I've seen this over and over again, especially working with our local business community. Welcome to Reels Made Simple for Small Business. So, what are you going to be getting out of this? This is not a complicated course, and this is definitely not how to become a full-time content creator. This is your starter pack. This is intended for solopreneurs, people that are doing all the things. Or it's also if you have a dedicated social media person in your business, this is definitely something for them to watch through. It's meant to give you tools and shortcuts and kind of a little bit of a vault on all of the things that I've learned. And I am sharing it with you so you can tackle short form video in a short amount of time and get online so customers and clients can see you. So in the next hour-ish, I'm going to walk you through what's actually working right now in short form video, how to grab attention quickly, how to make your content feel more natural and less forced, how to finally hit post without overthinking it, and treat this like a podcast. Of course, there's video, there's slides, but if you are a commuter or you're on your way to Kingman or you're driving one day, go ahead and drop this in as a podcast, just to listen to it. There's a ton of valuable information in here. And, if you get overwhelmed or if it's too much at once, just take a couple small pieces and then just come right back to it when you need to and just keep listening to it over and over again. So just a little information, a little background on who I am and what the heck I'm doing here. I'm Dawn Hansen. I am co-owner of Mojave Mortgage. My husband and I have been here for 8 years in Lake Havasu City in Mojave County, and we have a team of 7 currently, and I am the marketing team of 1. I wear all the hats for marketing for our company. I definitely have an entrepreneur mindset. This is not a Harvard trained marketing. This is a boots on the ground. This is how I figured it out, and this is what I can give to you. So you can get started. I love our small business community. I love helping each other do better, because if everyone's doing better, our community will ultimately do better. I am a full-time content creator. I am a videographer at heart. There's a couple things, in the internet space that I really like. One of them is actually editing and cinematography and video creation. So I've spent a lot of time and I've spent a lot of money on courses to train myself. And another thing that I really like is also psychographics. I'm a psychographics nerd. That is really the behavioral component behind why people do what they do, and the emotional content, understanding behaviors and how people consume content from an emotional standpoint. That is something that I'm just absolutely fascinated by. I am a huge chamber advocate. We've been a chamber member since day one, and currently on the board actually for Lake Havasu. So yes, we are very invested in the chamber, and I am so happy to be able to offer this as a learning component for anybody that wants to get in this. I want to show you how and keep it consumable, keep it easy, so it's something that you will do for your business. And personal branding is another huge thing for marketing. And just personally, one of my things is I'm a foodie. I'm definitely involved in like the restaurants and the hospitality around town. I love to share. I'm a sharer. I do love to share different, I follow the chefs and the food and local food, slow food, intentional. I'm kind of one of those people that has watched, Food Network forever. So you're going to probably see, a lot of kind of stuff through here that Definitely has a little bit of my personal brand on it. So anyways, that's a little bit about me. From what I've seen, I've done a lot of work with different businesses around town. And from what I've seen, most entrepreneurs fall into one of these three buckets as to why they don't do video for their business. They're intimidated by the technology, which I am totally. We are going to tackle that today for sure. I am going to show you, you're going to be able to confidently publish. Another thing, people say that they're not artistic enough, they're not creative enough, and I think that there's some logic and there's some tools that I'm going to share with you that I think this you will overcome this block if that's your block. And then another thing is a lot of people just say I don't have the time, and that's it's hard to learn new things and it's hard to find time to learn new things, and that's why I want to make this short and sweet. 1 hour ish. You're going to I definitely think that within 30 minutes, if you can figure out how to block out 30 minutes of your time, I really think that this will be achievable for you. And to be completely clear here, this is not going to replace your professional videographers or your professional photographers or your professional social media managers. This is to help you bring awareness and bring your personal brand to your company in those short clips, those short pieces of content that will really help you as a brand and a business delineate yourself from your competition by showing who you are as a company. Just those little nuggets of gold that I know that you're capable of to share. That's what this is about today. So from top to bottom here are the items that we are going to go through today in order. So we are going to talk about the current trends in 2026. We're going to talk about storytelling and how powerful it is. We're going to talk about the hook, and the hook is the beginning of every video. Filming best practices, audio options, metrics that matter. We're also going to talk about triple hook recipe. That's really, that's the good stuff, and that's going to be a little bit later. Beginner editing concepts, managing viral media, because eventually something's going to hit for you, and we're going to talk about that as well. And then also a little bit about the dark side of creating. Just a little bit of, fun stuff that sometimes happens with social media. And it's just the way it is. All right. So trends, social media reality check. So here we go. Now, Facebook, so we're going to talk about Mojave County, local, hyper local here. Facebook is still extremely dominant in Mojave County, and the age demographic is 30 to 65 plus. Facebook is very community driven, relationship based. Facebook is it's hyper local. Even if you have a small following, you have a small account, you're going to see those people at the grocery store. You're going to see people interact with you. And, you're small business to small business, business to business. We're all kind of following each other, or we're seeing each other's progress. So you're talking to your neighbors, essentially. Instagram is another great one. Instagram is demographic age 25 to 45 currently on that. And it's definitely more of a discovery platform. There's a wider range of people outside of that, inner web of Facebook. And Facebook, actually, they're both the algorithm is changing a little bit. Video is definitely not going anywhere. Video is the strongest way to get in front of people that don't know your company or your brand or your business. It's not going anywhere, and it's just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. But the thing about it, though, is the media itself, consumers, your consumers are looking for less polished, more personal content. They're looking for less scripted, more conversational content, and they're definitely looking for less selling and more storytelling. So most of the time when people come across your feed as a business, if they don't follow you, that's their first introduction to you. It's like an appetizer. Think about it as just a little bit of a bite, a little bit of a morsel of a bite and a handshake, like as to who you are and who your company is. We're in a connection era. We have definitely, they're calling it the creative renaissance. So um, definitely the connection over perfection, and people follow people. They don't follow brands. So that's where that personal branding is really going to come into play. There is definitely an algorithm shift. The algorithms for Facebook, for Instagram, TikTok, um, YouTube, those are the four I work in I work in them all the time. Um, they are now, the algorithm is giving interest based. So it used to be follower based, or it used to be, um, now it, okay, how would I explain this? As you're consuming content and you're on a video for a while, the algorithm is going, okay, well, they like that. Well, I'm going to send them something that's just like it. And it goes into that psychographics, the behavior. It's what the consumer is doing. The algorithm is going, you're driving the algorithm as to what content you like. If you're interacting with it, it's going to send you more, because ultimately the job of the algorithm is to keep you on the platform longer. So it's going to feed you the things that you want to see. Basically it's dopamine. It's going to keep feeding you what you want to see. And the unpolished real life videos are performing much better. The imperfect, the human connection, it's relatable. People want to relate to who they're watching on video. Um, those walk and talk videos, as you're walking and you're talking, car conversations, behind the scenes moments, those are all performing really well. And short form video, what we're talking about today, is absolutely killing it right now. It's dominating Instagram, definitely. And most of this is going to be Instagram related mostly. Facebook, of course, Meta, right? So I will be referring to Instagram. And for today, of course, you can use these short form videos and these reels in other platforms. But I'm going to show you how to edit and whatnot all in Instagram. But anyways, so short form video, totally dominating. 5 to 30 seconds is really, 30 seconds is about as long as you want to do a video. Some of them, if you do them a little bit longer, it really needs to be about a specific topic, or maybe an interview, something that you're talking about that's really going to capture a specific time frame that people are engaged in. They really want to hear the whole thing. But if you, most just best practices, 30 seconds is about the longest you want to go. But today I'm going to show you more of the 10-second, the hyper focused, short micro reels. That's what we're going to focus today on. And the hook matters more than anything else. The hook is right now, it's the first 2 seconds of your video. And the hook time frame it keeps decreasing. Like it used to be 10 seconds was the hook, 5 seconds was the hook, 3 seconds. Now it's 2 seconds. So literally you have 2 seconds to capture attention, or people are just going to keep on scrolling. Mixing up your content, doing different types of videos here and there, just pick a couple different types. But, obviously like direct camera or talking head videos, and maybe a storytelling clip, or some kind of, you take somebody, you walk them through a visual. And also light education, entertainment, edutainment, those short little bits of information that you can give someone, those are super popular right now too. User generated content and user experience content, user generated content, UGC, it's real life. It's how people use your products, or user generated. For example, if I'm at a hotel, right, the user would be the person staying over at the hotel. So you're creating a user experience video of your stay at a hotel. If you go out on the lake, let's say you go out on a boat, it's you're the consumer, and you're sharing and showing what you're doing. User experience videos, same type of thing. It's just showing how your service or your business works in real life. Soft selling always wins. Again, this is an appetizer. It's a handshake. It's an introduction to who you are. Doing like a hard CTA right now is probably not. I mean, of course, like in your post copy, hey, mention this, and we'll get in touch with you. But you just really need to focus on just soft selling. Just educate. You just want to relate. You want folks to relate to you. You want to build trust. Like that's really the common denominator for this type of media that we're talking about today. You have to think about it. You have to think about videos. Think about how you consume videos when it's 8 o'clock at night and you're just mindlessly scrolling on your phone. What type of sales or what type of person do you like? I know I don't like someone that's like in my face. Like I'm like, okay, bye. I'll scroll. So if just think about that person and how they're going to be introduced to your company for the first time, and like what do you want them to feel? What do you want them to see? Captions themselves, captions go, along with the video, of course, and sometimes captions, long if you're introducing maybe a specific product or not, but on the daily, just short captions are working better, and hashtags are really not as big of a thing as they used to be. Instagram is actually recommending 3 to 5. And I don't think they even allow you to do any more than that anymore. Reason for that is because the algorithm is smarter now. The hashtags really were initially for to drive the algorithm to help, put a specific hashtag or a type of content in front of you. And it was categorizing everything by hashtags. And that was 5 years ago or so. That was what Instagram was doing a lot. Doesn't do that anymore. The algorithm's way smarter than it used to be, and it is all behavioral based. So it will send you what you want to see at this point. People want the kitchen table conversations. They want the transparency. Actually, authenticity, that word, I know it's so overused, but it's expected. It's not really a trend anymore. People want the personality. They want the relatability. It's expected now. Simple, real human tone, just being yourself is what people want to see. Your personal brand is so important. It is why people choose you. You're it. You are. And, if you have a larger team or if you have other people, I am one person and I have my own things and my own personal brand that I bring to the company. But my husband has his own personal brand that he brings to the company. He's a race car driver. He's, he's larger than life. He's silly and goofy in his own way. And, our team, we have, I always try and give a little bit of each one of our brands, each one of our personal brand personalities into how we show up and what we like to do outside of work. All of that plays into your personal branding. What you do in real life, what you do when you clock out, matters just as much. And whatever you're willing to share, not everybody wants to share every single thing, but the things that you do want to share that will really connect, bring it on. Do as much as you can to identify differently, because that is your advantage over any of your competitors. And it's you. You're it. You're it. Of course, AI is here, and AI is not going anywhere. Everybody, I use Chat, Claude. I use them. I use all kinds of different AI tools, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. AI is constantly changing. I mean, everything, social media, all of this is every 30 days or so, media is changing, and AI is just rapidly developing. I do firmly believe, though, that it's not going to replace you. It's not going to replace your voice or who you are. When it comes to AI, for what I mean by that is when I use AI or I utilize chat or I'm utilizing one of the AI tools, I don't necessarily start out and have the AI start an idea for me. I create the idea first. Your original ideas or the jumping off point needs to come from you. And then from there, of course, utilize AI but it is not going to replace real human connection. What it's really about is storytelling. So, at its core, storytelling is not just what you do, it's why you do it. It's letting people see your thought process, your experiences, your wins, your struggles, so they can actually connect with you, not just your business. People don't remember perfect videos. They remember how something made them feel, and it creates trust, it creates engagement, and ultimately it will create business. People 100% connect through shared experiences. So your content should make somebody feel understood, seen, encouraged, or just a feeling of that's so me, or I so get them, or hey, I really like them. Hey, you know what? I get that. And then they'll hit the follow button and give you a follow. Share the behind the scenes or the real moments of your day, things that aren't perfect. It will 100% build trust. And your storytelling, it's not just what you say, it's where you are, it's the background, it's the video itself, it's your tone of voice, it's the music you choose. It all adds to the feeling and the psychographics to who you are as a company, who you are, intrinsically as a personal brand, connecting with your audience. Even your emojis are another personal brand. Like I guarantee you probably use 10 to 15 emojis over and over and over again in different contexts, but that is another part of you or your brand. So of course I've got you here. I'm going to give you 10 different ideas or storytelling kind of starting points for you that are super successful. So absolutely, any customer success story can be a video testimonial. It could be a photo or some type of emotional component with your clients in them. Day in the life, what are you doing? Your founder's story, where'd you come from? How long have you been in business? Did you start from a different, and did you pivot? Is it a family business? Is it a legacy? What's your mission? What are your core values? Who are you? Behind the scenes always works, going literally behind the scenes or behind the curtain of how something is made, always does really well. User generated content, you out in the wild doing something, you going out to a restaurant, you going to a hotel, you going to your kids' soccer games. Those are always super fun. Educational content, that edutainment or how-to content. You show somebody just a quick how-to tip. Relatable stories. Again, doing something where your customers, a pain point to your customers, perhaps. That's a really good one. Emotional values. A product journey, or an evolution, a start to finish, how things were made, or if you are if you're an entrepreneur that is, you're making something brand new, you're creating like something that is, not out there in the market. Show us your whole process. Go through the experience with your clients, and then once the product is finished, people are going to buy it from you because they've been watching you make it the whole time. Like they're rooting for you. They want you to win. And ideally, it's probably something, more than likely, it's something that they've wanted anyways. That's why they're following you. So I hope I got your mind spinning a little bit of some ideas that you can start with today. Now, all right, this is the most important part of this entire video. Is we have got to you've got to understand the hook and how powerful it is and how important it is. Great. My husband's downstairs, and if you can hear a race car in the background, it is what it is. I got to do this whole thing and record it all at once. So here we go. Okay, the hook. Okay, so 2 seconds. You literally have 2 seconds, and it is the prime real estate in your 7 to 10 second reel. And it's a what's in it for me kind of situation here. Someone's looking, the consumer is scrolling, and you have got to hook the person. It's got to be something interesting within 2 seconds, or they're just going to keep scrolling. They're just, yeah, whatever. Okay. Why people fail here most is there's no time for introductions anymore. There's no time for, hey guys, I just want to pop on. There's no time for, good morning everybody. You've already wasted it. They're gone. They're already gone before you even say it. Or even just breathing, like the millennial pause. You got to cut that breath out. A good hook does one of three things. It either creates curiosity to get the person like, oh, okay, well, all right, I'm interested. What's going to happen next? Or it creates emotion. There's an immediate hit on a vacation vibe, or a critical moment, and also something that delivers value immediately. Any one of those three, that is your hook. And if you can do all three of them, you've got a triple hook. You've got a winner. So really, there are three main types of a hook. There is the visual. What are people seeing? What's the actual video itself? The audible hook would be, what are they hearing? Are they hearing you talking as a voiceover, or are they hearing a specific song? And then the text hook. What are they reading? What is it that they're seeing on screen? I'm in the mortgage industry and real estate, so I'm going to use real estate and food a lot throughout as examples. But so let's talk a little bit about the visual hook. What does it look like? What does it sound like? No, it doesn't sound like. What does it look like? For a realtor, showing a home, for example, here, I like to hit on the top three things of the house. Is it the pool? Does it have an RV garage? Is there room for an RV garage? Does it have an amazing kitchen? Does it have a beautiful walkway? Does it have beautiful landscaping? Another visual hook would be a before and after shot. Another one, opening a door. That is an immediate curiosity component. I mean, yes, it's a little bit overdone at this point, but if it's an amazing door or it's something, that's a curiosity hook. Something fun in the area, a neighborhood, is there something in the neighborhood that's an identifier that would be a hook? Another, facial expressions, that's another good one, like shock or excitement, or like, come here, that's a hook. Audible hooks. So what does it sound like, right? So music that fits your audience. Maybe you have a couple different genres of music that most of your clients listen to. That's an immediate hook. A recognizable sound or clip, or a specific component or a lyric in a specific song. That's another hook. Original clips, something, you literally saying like, stop the scroll. You're going to want to see this. That's an immediate hook. Or something like, this home has everything. Let me show you. Those are great hooks. The written hook, the text. What's the text on screen? Point of views, POV are really popular right now. POV, you just found your dream home, or the one thing. The one thing I wish every buyer knew. That would be another great hook. Or, a quick phrase, what people think realtors do versus reality, or, something, give them a little bit to go on and something that they need to read through. And that video will loop because they're reading, right? They're going to read on screen and they're going to read it. And then if they didn't read it in that 7 seconds, oh, guess what? It's still playing. It's still looping. So you get more watch time. It's just so good. Pro tip here, just get in the habit of just skipping the intro. Go right into the conversation. Go right into the value and the curiosity of what you're talking about. And then, you can put, of course, in your post copy a little bit more about yourself or your company. And then, of course, if they're curious enough, they're going to go to your page or your site, and then they're going to check you out, and then they're going to follow you. And, how do you know this is working? Well, your analytics matter. You can take a look and see, are people staying past that 3-second mark? Um, your analytics will show you. And if you are getting to people are actually staying and they're not scrolling, if you can get somebody on your video watching for 10 seconds, you're winning at this game. You are winning. And if you finally found something, if you're onto something, you don't have to completely reinvent the wheel. You can repeat what's working, tweak it a little bit, make it your own, maybe change up the music a little bit, change up the font, change up a little bit of the background, but you will get once it starts clicking for your business, remember it, study it, see what was working, repeat, tweak, and there you go. You've got another video for yourself. Okay, so this is where people get stuck a lot. We are going to talk about filming video without overthinking it. I'm going to give you some best practices, some tools, some real life tools, real time stuff that you can do today to increase, to give you a little bit of better video. People always think that they need better equipment, that they don't, that intimidation factor, I need, to get a camera and I need to, get all this fancy software and I need to do all these things. And it's just not true. You can do these videos. In fact, I encourage you to do these videos on your phone because we're doing fast, short reels and we want you in and out within 30 minutes, right? Storytelling is the most important. The hook is the most important as well. And all of this will help increase, the camera, the lighting, the angles. That's kind of what we're talking about a little bit more here. And this piece of equipment here is a gimbal. If you do have a little bit of money to invest, these run you about $100 to $150 for a decent one, and they help with camera shake. They help. It's a gimbal. It's got a natural stabilizer built into it, so you aren't. It just makes things a little bit easier. But you don't need it. You don't need it. Let me show you. Hold on. Okay, so number one, be a storyteller, right? Create a personal story, invite people into the experience visually through sound, copy, lighting. Okay. So your phone, I use an iPhone. This also will go for an Android phone as well. It's just a newer phone is ideal. Something that's, in the last couple of years is what you would most likely want to use and that will have all of these features for you. You want to go to your settings, your camera settings for this, but you want to shoot in the highest resolution that you can for your videos. 4K is the best. 30 or 60 frames per second will give you a crisp look. Depending on where you go to render your video, it might render it in a lower resolution. And it might render it down when you post it to a different platform. But if you create it in a higher capacity, the video tends to look more crisp and it looks a little bit more cinematic. It just looks more professional. You are also going to see when you go to your video screen, you're going to see usually it will automatically put it in a level 1, which is like a level 1 frame. If you look to the left option, you're going to see a 0.5, and that's basically your wide angle. Your wide angle lens is a really great. It gives you more view. It gives you a bigger view of the room, like especially like real estate. If you're in a you want the whole background, you want the whole pool or the whole, backyard to show up on your video. If you go to that wide angle, it'll give you more. You can be a human gimbal. So the gimbal, that handheld thing that, the phone was on, you can be a human gimbal. You just have to think like water. You want slow movements as you're doing your video, as you're holding your camera. Where's my camera? Hold on. You want things to be slow. You don't want to move. You don't want to be too quick. You want to be nice and slow. And you want your clips to be, 3 seconds. 3 to 5 second clips of something that well, 10 seconds or 12 seconds for clips. If you're doing a short, reel with like 5 different clips and you're showing 5 different things, you don't need to record each clip for 30 seconds. You just need like 5 second clips. Each clip, actually, even in movies, if you look at movies, 1 to 3 seconds, the frames are changing. So in the practice of as you gain knowledge and as you create more videos and you start editing more and you add in more things, like 3 seconds is 3 to 5 seconds is like the maximum you should be on any one thing. Hold your breath when you are shooting something. You want to hold your breath because, right, you inhale, like your camera's going to move. So if you get what you want to shoot in mind, you've got it dialed in, hold your breath and hit the record button. So you just hit the record. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You shoot it. I hope that you're getting the visual there. Also, you want to look for camera shadow. See, all right, well, my lights are in front of me. Like if you have to think about where's the sun. The sun, if the sun's right behind you and you're shooting something, this camera is going to show up on the thing that you're shooting. Or if you're shooting, you're trying to shoot yourself or whatnot, where the sun is, you don't want the sun on your face, or you don't want the sun, or I mean, not the sun. You don't want the camera showing, you're recording something, your phone is like showing up right here, in the shading your face. Like, watch out for that. Keep your captions in mind. Like, where are you going to be putting your hook or your captions? You're going to be putting them in frames, so you want to keep a little bit of room think ahead of time a little bit on before you shoot, and leave some space for the good stuff. And another one is, pan slowly, 3 seconds. We got that. Different angles. That's another thing. I think most people automatically just, they shoot from like right here. They shoot from like mid chest. So what if you shot from up top? What if you shot from down low? What if you got down on the ground? What if you got like right on the countertop level? What if you changed a couple angles? That keeps your viewer interested because you're doing something different, and it creates curiosity whether they even know it or not. Like subliminally, the brain is going, oh, what's this? What's going on? Okay, I'm going to stick around for this. And then cinematic mode is another super fun one. I love cinematic mode. That is, you should have that camera setting. In the iPhone, you've got regular video, and then you swipe, so it's on the left side, cinematic mode, and that is depth of field. It really helps put what you want in focus, and then the rest of the things around you are blurry. So it brings more attention and awareness to you, especially when you're doing like a talking head or a direct camera. Cinematic really just automatically kind of levels up your business, just even using cinematic mode. Safe zones. It's a kind of a pet peeve of mine, but if you don't know, you don't know, right? So I am here to show you, okay, this is a great visual of safe zones on your camera. So as someone's consuming your content, Instagram, for example, right? Here we go. We've got on the right side, we've got where we like, where we, comment, all of those identifiers. Then you've got the name of, who you are, that follow button, all that stuff below. All that real estate is already taken by the platform. So you want to make sure, I know people think that you have that whole video area. I mean, yes, you do have the whole area, but if you're doing captions, or if you're doing your main text hook captions, they can't be too high or too low. That green zone, that's your safe zone of where you're going to put yourself, your hooks, your captions. The danger zone is that red zone around the outer perimeter. And then finally, the yellow component. So talking head direct to camera, right? Your face is in that location. Your text hook is going to go right in the middle. And then your captions leave enough room, especially if you're doing the closed captioning, you're doing some type of voiceover, and you want those closed captions to be on there. Just slightly below center is the best place because you have to think about different platforms, right? So, like Facebook, for example, or Instagram, as you're just scrolling regularly on your feed, it's in a different format and you hit it and then it'll take you to Reels. It'll take you to the bigger ones. So that smaller area is that green zone. And then once you get into like the Reels component, yes, it does get bigger, but keep in mind that your video is going to be on different platforms. And also, like, think about it when you do ads, if you ever do meta ads or anything, Meta has you upload your video in like 3 different sizes. And the main reason it does that is because it's going to put it in the right size to the right platform. And let's see what else we got here. All right, so safe zones for captions. So remember, keep in mind when you're shooting your video where your captions are going to go, and then you leave room and you see, so we've got, a couple on top, and then we have a couple that we've put them in the lower area. To keep in mind, here's some examples for you to see where to put your text copy. Okay, so deep breath. Let's just do a little wellness check here. This is a lot of information. Some of you may have heard it already, and some of you may have not, and that's okay. That's okay. We're here to do 1% better every day. James Clear, Atomic Habits. I love that book. I've read that book. I can't tell you how many times. Take it in. Take what you need and do 1% better every day. That's it. Just take it slow. Pick a couple things from here. If something's resonating with you or you've heard it before, this is your sign to really explore it more and just take a couple things and do better. Deep breath. Here we go. Okay. Now we are going to talk about audio that doesn't ruin your video. You might be able to get away with bad lighting or maybe a blurry shot or something, but you cannot get away with bad audio. If it's too windy, if it's too echoey, if you're too far away from the microphone, if you're something super loud and you're competing with it, it's not going to hit. People are going to just scroll on by. The good news is, though, we actually have some easy fixes here that are not too expensive at all. So here we go. I kind of put the types of audio and things that can help you from a low price point to a higher price point. So number one, your phone itself does have a great microphone. Here, though, is a good tip for you. So I got my phone here. As you're holding, like, you're going to do a direct camera, right? You're doing a direct camera or you're talking. Cup your microphone is down here, at least on the iPhone, right? Your microphone is down here. So if you cup it, it will give you, it'll go the omnidirectional. It will help what you're saying go right to your microphone instead of the other things around it that are competing. It kind of it's just a little bit extra and it'll help your audio sound a little bit better. You can always, I really like using my good old headphones. I'll be in my car I have to do something quickly or I do a quick voiceover on something. And this microphone right here, it does just fine. It really does. And it's not too expensive. You don't have to get these super expensive things, but if you have, next level up would be like a lavalier mic. Lavalier, everything's pretty much cordless or wireless at this point. So it will give you a plug-in to plug into your phone, and then you'll have a wireless lavalier mic, and those will run you from anywhere from $30 to $50 for a decent one. Rode mics are the ones I use. So in this picture, I'm doing an interview and I use Rode, RODE, wireless mics. I use duo mics. So if I'm interviewing somebody, they have their own mic and I have my own mic, or I pass the mic back and forth as I'm interviewing somebody. This set runs, I think, around like $300. So yes, it's a little bit more expensive, but I use it all the time, and it really helps. The audio just it's really crisp. It's nice. There are some other mics out there that are not Rode, but there's another one out there recently. I mean, of course, there's equipment changes all the time and things get better and better and better. And there are some less expensive options that do a lot of noise canceling. So if you want a noise canceling, it's a different style. It's a different preference. I think it kind of comes down to your own style and preference. I prefer, I'm okay with hearing background noises. I'm okay with hearing live experiences because it also helps create the curiosity, and it helps really dial in. Like if I'm at a race, I want to hear the race cars in the background. If I'm at a restaurant, I want to hear the clicker and the clatter of, people talking, or, plates, or I'm okay with hearing that. I don't think it's disruptive, but some people don't really like that. They want to just hear their mic, and that's totally up to you, whatever you prefer. Now, if you're going to go into podcasts, or you're going to go into other things, like this right here, this is a Yeti mic. And this was like $100 mic, but it sounds really, really sharp. And the SHURE brand is another really amazing. Like if you're stepping into that realm, those will run you like a podcast set, or like a set of like 2 or 4 mics, and it's going to run you around $1,000 or more. Now, if you do nothing else, focus on these. These are my little pro tips here of capturing audio. So using mic covers, like I have a little padded, little fuzzy little cover on this, and most of the small mics have covers on them too, and those are pop filters. So when you say p, like those are pop filters, right? So it doesn't blow out. Another thing is, keep your audio, I keep your audio around 30, like level 30. Usually it will upload in a 50, but be mindful of how it sounds. Another tip is, when you're doing your videos and when you're editing, I always edit with my earphones in, because I want to hear it, how it's going to sound to the consumer, to the person that is listening to it. I want the experience to be pleasant. I don't want to give them a really high volume, like in your face kind of thing. So just be mindful. Around 30 volume is best practice. If you do have background music, if you're choosing to do some background music, keep that really low. You don't want it to compete with you and what you're saying. The music should be there and it should be audible, but it should not be the priority. So keep that really low. Keep that at like a level 1, a level 2, maybe a level 5. You just don't want it competing with you. That's really, when you are interviewing someone or you're talking to somebody else, don't talk over each other. Be mindful of that. Because the brain, and it sounds cluttered. It sounds like it's too much. If you want to keep focus, don't talk over each other. Also, find the best spot to record your audio. You might, like real estate. I'm at a house. I'm at a new home, or I'm at a house that's all tile. It's very echoey. Go into a room that's carpeted. Go into a closet that has clothing in it. It's like it's an automatic sound booth. Or your car. Go in. That's why car recordings or car videos are so popular, because it's basically like a sound booth. Like it's already carpeted. It's, all your doors and your windows are shut. So it's like a little recording studio. And yes, as I said, listen back with your headphones on so you can get the full experience. Let's talk about metrics that actually matter in 2026. And these get misunderstood a lot. And some people just don't even look at them. But The old way, or the ways in, years past, for a long time, we were focusing on follower count, likes, views. But the follower count's really vanity metrics. It's what the industry calls vanity metrics. It's just when somebody automatically looks at an account and they see 30,000 people on the account. It's like, oh, okay, they're credible. They're credible, right? And the algorithm used to only really feed, it would take, I would say, priority, or it would prioritize larger accounts. It's not doing that anymore. Now, I can tell you, on Instagram and Facebook for sure, and TikTok, absolutely. Like it is sending you what you want to consume. So if someone that has a 200 follower count creates a killer video that is something that I consume, the algorithm has sent it to me. I'm not looking if they're a credible or a, larger account. It's already throwing me their video, and then I go in and look at them and see if they're what they're about. So it's a whole shift in how metrics are working and what is actually important right now. If you remember anything from this section, remember this. The 3 metrics that really matter are attention, action, and connection. So here's what I mean by that. So we're going to look at, Instagram. I'm going to take you into metrics on some of our videos that have been successful. So attention metrics. Attention metrics are your views, your watch time, your retention. So I have a couple of examples here. So views, it'll show you who a video. So, 15,000, that's pretty solid. Like, we have like 2,000 people on Instagram. We have 3,000 on Facebook. We don't have like a huge, massive account. But, when I get into views, in the thousands, or 1,500, that is really good for me, for my account. That I'm super happy with that many views. And here's the really cool part is, look at the purple versus the pink there. 10% of the views were from our followers. 90% was shown to people that do not follow us, that may potentially not even know our brand. So that is a huge win. And then you can see, of course, the views over time. You can see how it's trending. You can see the uptick. The gray little dots there are kind of like that's the average video. And, some of our videos don't perform well, but we put them on there because they're educational, or they're a specific type of component that we need to reflect in our brand. And I know that they're probably not going to perform that well, but they belong on our page, because when people do want to look at our feed, they see all of the other components that as a brand we want them to see. So you're not always going to hit it out of the park every single time. So the insights, let's look at the insights. So your Reels tab. So 40% of the people that consume the video got onto it from the Reels tab itself. There was 33% that got it from the regular feed. 14% got it out of their stories. 5%, 4.5, saw the video from their explore page, like someone actually searching their explore page. So that's pretty cool. Like, that just gives you an idea of how to even read these. And then your retention matters as well. So, we're doing these short videos. So in this case, that was a 9-second video that I shot, and it was a total hook video, just like we're talking the triple hook. You can see that it looks like about 30% of people watched the entire 9 seconds. And then the average watch time was 7 seconds. So that gives you an idea, right? That sweet spot is really it's right around 7 seconds. That's kind of the sweet spot. And that's what we're focusing on today. Action metrics. So this video, I did this video like a couple years ago, and it still performs. It's still performing. I did one, the opening of the Roadrunner, which, if you're familiar with Parker, the Roadrunner is It's an iconic Parker Strip bar and restaurant, and they completely did a renovation and it stayed closed for a while. So I did an opening video of it, and we've got 452,000 views, 14,000 likes, 210 comments, 18,000 shares, and 1,600 saves. Solid. That one popped off. And then looking into it in another way, but that shows you the interactions. And then it breaks down the shares, the likes, the saves, the comments. And look at that, 473 followers from that one video. Like, dude, that was so good. It was so good. Connection metrics, comments, stories, responses, DMs, interacting with people that take the time to comment or take the time to DM you is huge, especially if you're in a service-based business. If you are looking to get leads, all right, who isn't looking to get leads, right? We're businesses. We're looking to interact with these folks because eventually, hopefully, we'll do business together. I mean, or they'll talk about your company to somebody else. That's the beauty of this. And I do my best. I absolutely do my best. I will tell you another pro tip here is Facebook is not joking around with sharing. If you have an engaging video and you're commenting, you're having dialogue, you're going back and forth, and I am telling you, I have had some really high performing reels lately, and it is large in part due to the comment section and interacting and talking and creating dialogue. So it's very, very important. And the algorithm will reward you by pushing your video out farther. And same thing goes with this. Like if you see something that's performing well, look at your metrics, see what's working. And you can also tell by when people are leaving. When are they leaving? What are they not interested in? Was it the hook? Was it the topic? Was it the delivery? Was the video too long? Like you can tell within those metrics, and you can just tweak and then just repeat the process on something that you can see that's obviously starting to connect with your audience. We have been talking about all the things, and now this is where it starts really getting fun. Drum roll, please. We are getting into the triple hook recipe. All of this is going to start making sense. You're going to see some examples. You're going to see how this works in real time so you can apply all of this to your business. All right, so this is the 7-second triple hook recipe created by yours truly. I am here for the scroll stopping. And I am here for you doing all this in less than 30 minutes. So let's go. All right. Micro reels. These are micro reels. They are the quick 7 to 10 second videos. And one of the reasons that they perform really well is because of the loop. You've got all of these things. The brain doesn't necessarily, when someone's looking at something, they're not necessarily absorbing all of it at the same time. So if you've got a 7 to 10 second reel, first time around, they're going to look at it and they're going to go, oh, pretty picture. Or, oh, where are they? What are they doing? And then, oh, guess what? It's looping around again. And then they're going to look at the copy, or they're going to look at the hook, what you have written. And they're like, oh, wait a minute. I got to follow along with this. And then the music. Then the music will come in. And then, so you might have somebody on your video 3 or 4 times watching it. And that is going to help your metrics, and that is going to help your reach, because the algorithm is going, oh, all right, we've got something here that they like. Okay, I'm going to send them some more, or I'm going to, it helps your video. It'll help send it to other people that have that same psychographics. So yes, we're doing the triple hook. We're doing the visual. We're doing the text. We're doing the audio. And you can batch these once you get a hang of it, or if you have an hour of time, you can do 2 of these at once. Or if you really get dialed in, you can probably do 3, like 2 or 3 in an hour. Fantastic. So step 1. So I was, in this example, I was at the Riviera. And this was a refrigerator I've never seen a bigger refrigerator than this. It was crazy. It's just, I knew immediately, I'm like, oh, Like anybody that is a chef or anybody that loves to cook or anybody that loves to entertain, this refrigerator, I would buy this house just for this refrigerator if I could. It was just killer. So just, as example, real estate, right? So you could be for your clip, right? Your B-roll, like your clip that you're creating. You'll hear that word B-roll in different marketing speak, or in videography, movies. B-roll is short clips, or it's part of. So B-roll and edit, and clips kind of go hand in hand. Like it's the same. It's kind of one and the same here in this example. So shoot the clip. You've got a clip that you're going to shoot. I would say anywhere from 10 to 15 seconds to shoot the clip, and the clip can be, as examples here, the kitchen island itself, or you being the realtor on your phone or your laptop, point of view, walking through the front door or opening it, walking, if there's like a walk-in pantry or something big like that, or specialty cabinets, walking into the garage, or walking around the pool, or drinking coffee, or drinking your favorite drink, opening your car, or being in your car, opening your door or walking out of it, neighborhood entrances, or if there's some cool pools, or if there's like a community area or palm trees or something specific in that neighborhood. Those are all great things to use as your clip. Next, you are going to upload we're going to use Instagram edits today. I'm going to show you how to do that next, coming up here pretty quick. But you are going to upload, and then you're going to add your text hook. And this is a bold, simple headline in those safe zones, right? And in this case, I put it up top. That's a safe zone up there because I'm mid-frame and lower. And then I used like a wait for it. Or another one would be like, just in this real estate example, look at this, or this kitchen, with a little heart, emoji. And then your audio hook, some type of trending sound that you've saved, or a saved favorite, or a trending, something that works with your aesthetics that you're trying to create. So next up here, as soon as I go to this next slide, it is going to play for you so you can see it. So here we go. All right, so see, I opened it and then I went into what it is, and there you go. That is an example of a micro reel, a triple hook micro reel. That is what we're talking about today. That is the stuff that you will get some great traction on your brand, and it is easy to do once you figure out how to do it. So hopefully I've kind of, you understand the mechanics behind it, because I think that's one of the biggest things is it's once you understand them, hopefully it's all starting to make a little bit more sense. So when you do go to post, though, let's just go through the rest of this. Better performance so if you have this clip, I know that you can, when you're in Instagram, you can automatically post it in Facebook. But what I have found, as far as it goes with reach and metrics, is I upload them separately. I'll upload this video on Facebook, and I'll upload it on Instagram separately, because they typically perform better. Choose the best thumbnail, add a short caption, just a sentence or two. In your post copy, just add a couple, just 3 hashtags. If you want to collaborate, if you have a specific person that you created a video with, or you're at a specific place and they want to collaborate with you, that is great for Instagram, and it's great for reach. It's great. It's a great community builder. It also is a relationship builder. It gives the video as well will show up on whoever you're collaborating with. It will show up on their feed next up, this is a live tutorial of me going through exactly how I'm editing. Just me in real time showing you that it is achievable and it is possible to do this and post it in less than 30 minutes. I'm choosing Instagram Edits today. I think Instagram Edits is a very beginner-friendly editing platform for what you need to do on Instagram and what you need to do for these short micro clips and those micro reels. Of course, if you use CapCut or you use InShot or you use another platform that you're comfortable with, stick with that and create this if you've already started somewhere and you're already comfortable, you don't need to go to a different platform. I just am using this because it's easy. And also, Instagram will reward you for using their product. So ideally, real world, or hopefully, it does end up pushing your video out. The algorithm will give you a little bit of a leg up if you create and edit and then upload directly. So without further ado, here we go. So I'm going to walk you through an edit on Instagram Edits. 7-second reel, you go to your gallery, upload. Today I went into an avocado bar, had some toast. I'm a foodie, so it kind of all fits along with what I'm doing. I go in, I upload the clip. Okay, now I'm shaving it down. I'm looking for the best entry part and the best exit part. This was a 12-second video, so I'm cutting it down into that 7-second sweet spot. You can edit it on both sides. All right, we are looking really good here. I always kind of run through it, make sure it's all right. Okay, fantastic. Now we're going to go into the text hook. So we're going to upload and write in. So I'm going to write in Avo Toast Lovers. That's a good hook for me. And when you're done with that, you can see there are different texts, there are different colors you can text, all that whole bar up here. So there's tons of different texts fonts you can use. I like Air One or Advercase. Those are my two things. You can also highlight them, change them colors. You can also utilize different ways that the text will show up. So in this case, I'm using typewriter because people are like, oh, wait, I have to read. Oh, there's something here. And then they love it. Another thing I like to do, it's a little bit of it's just the way I do it. But I take the entire text, because it's only going to do like the first couple seconds. I take that entire text and I run it through the whole 7 seconds. And the reason that I do that is because you can then go back in and you can cut. If you're going to put some different wording in throughout it, you can cut that same caption and it will show up in the exact same spot on the clip. So what I'm doing here is I'm dividing it all up into 3 different components that all last about 3 to 5, that 3-second mark. So everybody will tag along, they will stay engaged, they will want to read through the whole thing because it's that typewriter. So you've got people engaged. So we've got the visual hook with the picture. We have the text hook now. We are going to now move into the audible hook, which would be the music. So we're going to find something snappy to go along with this. And last minute, I decided to add a little emoji, little branded emoji. I do a lot of those little star happy faces. So now I'm going to take a look at the whole thing. See how it looks. What's the vibe? Does it feel good? All right. I kind of make sure I line everything up. Another thing you can do, I want you to look. You can see where your safe zones are. See that little light yellow? It kind of turns a little bit. Oh, went too high. Oh, too low. And then I want it right in the middle. That's the best spot. It's just in a really engaging spot. All right, one more time. And looking super good. Now on to trending music. You're going to go to music, go to trending. I just go through the first 10. Don't get crazy. Like, you're going to find something that will hit, and within 7 seconds, you're looking for something that's on brand, something that works with what you're doing. Another cool thing is you can take it to this slip at the very end. You hit that and it'll take you to the song, and you can move it around to get that specific lyric or something that you want it to hit with. Okay, let's see how we're doing. All right, I love it. Triple hook, taken care of. Upload this baby. We're gonna always download it to your camera just to save, so you can use it on other platforms, Instagram or Facebook. I'm going into Instagram. I have all of my post copy already pre-done to save some time here. That's my hook, did you know? And then the rest of it, I try and do every sentence kind of separated, because you have to user experience as people are reading. They want to read it in little pieces. So you've got a couple different options here, a couple hashtags. You can invite collaborators. So if you have specific people that you're trying to highlight or that you're working with on your video, you can collaborate with them. That way the video will also show on their feed. It's something, it's an option. You can go into pick which cover you want. You can adjust it for your profile grid. Let's move a little further here. You can add a specific location. Today I am using the cause. I use Lake Havasu City a lot. It's a identifier, and there's also a map on the back end of Instagram that these will show up on. See right there. It's just another thing to make the platform and make the algorithm happy. There's other options here if you're using AI. Trial Reels is another thing you can try out. It won't show up on your feed, but you could use A/B testing here and do a couple different videos, try them out. You can also go directly to Facebook if you want to. Now let's hit more options. This takes you to a secondary page. If you have products, you can tag them. If you have an event, you can put an event reminder. You can schedule out the reel if you want to. I don't do this too often, but you can, schedule out just a couple days in advance. That's definitely an option for you there. You can also, I also make sure that I have that toggle on for the highest quality. I typically enable closed captioning because it will duplicate. I usually put the captions already on it when I'm doing a captions video. So I typically turn that off because it'll just go over the top of what you've already put on as a caption. But that's just a personal preference, I guess. On to the rest of the items here. You can hide shares, likes. You can turn off commenting. You can there's a lot of different things that you can allow people to do in there. So back to the main frame, I'm going down. It looks good. I'm just going to upload this right to my feed. And there it is. So I'm going to wait for it to upload. Then just going to check it out, make sure it looks good. I'm also always going to like my stuff, and I'm going to share it on my stories. Like, why wouldn't you? So now there you go. You're done. You got all the hooks. You're in and out. Less than 30 minutes. So I'm going to walk you through an edit on. We have covered so much today. I hope that really helped put it all together just visually for you on how it can happen quickly for you. Now that you know the recipe, now you know all the key components. You're going to start posting. Things are going to start moving along for you and your business. You're going to start getting some traction, and then sooner or later, something is really going to click for you, and it's going to go viral. It will. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And for this example, real estate, mortgage company, I had a really successful video recently, so I would like to share a little bit of how I chose to navigate it. So without further ado, let's go into this one. Okay, so this video was a real estate video, and I have a whole list of different videos and different ideas, and I was at a realtor weekly meeting, and we go on home tours. We're here in Lake Havasu, and we go on home tours, and 3 of the homes were in the $300,000 range. And so I was like, okay, I should do that video today. That 300, like, what would $300,000 get you in Lake Havasu? So I went with that context. I went around, I talked to the realtors. I asked them the features and benefits of, that type of home, put it into a short, 30-minute kind of thing, and had the copy, right there. What does it actually get you? Think 3-bed, 2-bath, great for first-time home buyers, a call to action, and, let's get you pre-qualified, etc. Well, and then, homes featured, see that little asterisk down there, homes featured. I added that later, and it'll make sense in a little bit here, but I did add that later, to verify the price range that the houses I did, 365 to 399, and then, a couple of hashtags, Lake Havasu, obviously, Arizona real estate, another super important hashtag in my opinion. That's very valid. And then No Bad Days is another huge brand identifier for Lake Havasu. If you know, No Bad Days is kind of our city slogan, really. Okay, so yeah, it really started to go. So the analytics, 80,000, we're now over 80,000 views on this video. And the reach, 57,000, 38,000 people stayed past 3 seconds. It was not a 1-minute video, so that's why it says 0 there. The watch time, 9 days worth of consumption, 576 reactions, comments, all of that. 98% of the viewers were non-followers. Like, talk about getting in front of people. That is huge. Like that, I was so excited about this one, but it really went well. And this was, most of this activity was actually on Facebook versus Instagram. I did get some good traction as well on Instagram, but it really went crazy on Facebook. And here, look at the metrics there. So I posted it, right? First day, like it was kind of low. It's like, yeah, whatever. Okay. Well, people started commenting about 3 days in. They started commenting on there, and it was a little bit of a controversial hook, actually. What will it actually get you kind of thing. So that curiosity loop was a little bit loaded. I knew that I might get some clapbacks, or I might get a little bit of, some activity in the comments. And I did, I absolutely did. But I was commenting back, and I chose to engage. And look at that, day 7, it went crazy. It within 10 days, it got the majority, and then it started leveling off. But in 10 days, like 7 days after, that's another thing to think about when you are doing your videos. If you're doing something specific on an event, or your hours of operation, or whatever if you're doing something specific, remember that your video could potentially be seen a week or 2 after you are posting it for the first time. Your readers or your followers or your consumers are not necessarily going to see it. So I advise, like, if you're doing like an open house, or you're doing some kind of grand event, or you're doing something, you've got to give it at least 10 days to 2 weeks ahead of time to really get all of the viewers to actually see it on social. All right. So we got 22,000 15-second views. So the 3 second is one marker, and then 15 seconds is another marker. So if like 22,000 people actually stayed past 15 seconds, that's another good one. So the average time on this video was 14 seconds. That's pretty solid. Just I'm proud of this one. It was a good one. And then the retention. See, it was a 16-second video. It wasn't that long, but look at that. Over just about 80% of the people stayed on through the entire 16 seconds. 500 interactions, 61 comments back and forth, 13 shares. So now let's get into the comments. This is the fun part. Okay, so total disclaimer here. Like you choose, however you choose to respond is how you choose to respond. Facebook, as we all know, Facebook can be a little spicy in the comment section. And You can choose to engage, or you can choose not to engage. You can choose to block people. You can choose to delete comments if they're too offensive. And I did actually delete a couple of them because people were like, I mean, you can see the red here. People got a little. Some people were cussing. They were just very spicy. But I chose to, like, I know our brand. I know our core beliefs. I know our community. I know our town. I know the hot buttons or things that some people like or dislike, or, um, our reputation, if we will, as a community, or, River Life, or Lake Havasu. We're an interesting bunch of humans, and most of us are here for certain reasons, and we're here for the lifestyle that most of us have come here since we were kids, or we were introduced a long time ago, and we chose to move here. We knew we moved here 8 years ago, and we knew exactly what we were getting into. We wanted to have our life here. We wanted to um, pre-tire or retire. We knew we wanted to be in Lake Havasu in our later years of our life, and we just kind of started it a little bit early, and we moved our business here. So these comments and these reactions that I chose to put in here are our brand, and also, a lot of our community. There were some people like, look at, one of them is like, oh, Havasu, ew, and I'm like, no, not really. We chose to live here, and and then another one, perfect for home time, first time buyers. The barrier to entry can be, another hot topic. Real estate and housing prices. Those types of things are very polarizing, if you will. So I, I try and comment and respond with humility. I do my best to be civil, to think about all aspects of who's reading, who's watching, and who's going to read these comments later, and they will understand who our brand is even better. Let's go into, there's some other ones, and then, oh yeah, realtors are a joke. Okay, well, I, responded to that one too. And, Havasu's overrated, et cetera. And then, we got Ronald over there, Ronald Carr. He was like, "Oh no, I'm not buying a house. I'm buying an RV for cheaper, and I'm going to go all over the place." And I'm like, "Well, hey, great point. Of course, go roam, do your thing, And then, like, hey, we'd love to do that, in the future, And then look at that, we got 113 followers just from this one video, and I think we have more now. So it's just um how to, do you have to do this? Do you have to do everything like I'm doing? No, I'm just giving you a real life example of, sooner or later, something's going to happen for you. And just once that does happen, and you're prepared for it, because I know it's going to happen for you too. Now I want to talk about some things that not a lot of people talk about. And this is really the part that actually stops you from posting most of the time. It's usually not the camera, it's not the lighting, it's what's going on up here. It is right up here in your noggin. So, dark side of social media when posting turns to panic. So, I call these the 3 deal killers of content. So, if you've ever struggled to post, you've probably felt at least one of these. Perfectionism, imposter syndrome, and analysis paralysis. So, perfectionism looks like you have a video of yours in drafts forever because it's not perfect, and you keep going in and trying to tweak it. Or you go back and you reshoot the clip over and over again because there was a pillow, like, out of place or something, and you're overthinking it, and you're overdoing everything. Um, it looks like endless tweaking, never posting, and you thinking that you're going to post when it's perfect, and it never is. Or another good one with perfectionism is you are comparing yourself to other people that have like a full production team, or you're comparing your video or your micro reel with, you know, a fully produced video. And it's apples to oranges. It's like apples to pineapple. It's just not it. You're not in the same, and perfectionism can take hold. Imposter syndrome is a sneaky one, and it is brutal. And I've experienced all of these at one point in my career, and sometimes multiple times in my career. But that's just the honest truth. Imposter syndrome, in your mind, looks like, or you have the experience, you have the knowledge, but then you tell yourself, like, why, who am I to be posting this? I don't know anything. Or you start, you question yourself, and you question your authority, you question your expertise, and you compare yourself. You compare yourself to other people too much. You're downplaying your wins, you're downplaying your experiences, or you're downplaying the style of video that you're doing, or you're feeling like a fraud. You think everybody else has things figured out and you don't. Now, the last one, I see this all the time, and I am really guilty of this, is analysis paralysis. Basically, as you're scrolling on your phone, you get ads all the time, right? Well, I get ads all the time on different programs that I should buy, or different, just all of the different people trying to sell me something to be a better videographer, or be a better content creator, or do things better in my business, and blah, 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 all the things. And before you know it, you've bought 10 different programs, and you haven't even watched one of them yet. Or maybe you're on the first one, and you've got all these, because you think that you're not good enough, or you think there's something else that you need to know. And then you have all of this information, you have all of these things to do, and then you become paralyzed and you don't do anything. That's not where you want to be. So here's the truth, social media isn't the problem. It's the story we tell ourselves about it. So what can we do about these three things? Like, if any one of these three things show up for you, know that you're not, again, you're not alone. This happens, I think, to most professionals. Maybe sometimes they don't admit it, but I think it does happen to plenty of us. So what can we do about it when we see these things show up? Well, progress beats perfection. Just hit the button. Keep doing it. You might struggle with posting your first couple of videos because you know that they're not perfect. But again, back to that authenticity, back to when your followers or the people that are within your community see you posting and see you getting out there and doing stuff. I know if I see you doing stuff and I see some videos, let me know. Like, drop me just send your video to me. I would love to look at it and support you. You're going to see some engagement, and that authenticity will always, always win. So just hit the button and don't worry about the perfection. You're going to keep getting better 1% at a time, right? Confidence beats comparison, right? Over time, you will gain more confidence in your craft. You will get better at the micro reels. And after you master, or you feel comfortable around the micro reels, you can start adding on to the type of video that you want to do. If you can start adding multiple clips. You can start creating more of a story arc, a start to finish. Do a couple different clips. Make that 10-second video, or make that 15-second video. Make it a little bit longer. Maybe you're going to start doing voiceovers. Maybe you can start adding in your voice. And then you can start adding captions in. There's some different things that you can build on from here. This is the foundation. This is the basics, and you will get better, and you will get more confident at your craft. I can assure you. And action beats overthinking. Hit the button. Don't get stuck in thinking that you have to take one more class, or one more program, or you have to buy one more microphone. Just do the thing. Just let's go. I want to see you win. I want to see you succeed. I know you will. You've spent an hour and a half of your time now on this video and this information. And I know that you're going to kill it. And I look forward to send me whatever you want to send me. I'm happy to engage. I'm happy to support you and your business and see you win. What is your goal in 2026 for your business and your social media presence? Do you want more visibility on your business? More visibility on your brand? Do you want more connection with clients? Do you want more business out of all of it? I mean, of course, we all do, right? There's a couple bonus things that I have for you as well. I have a couple PDFs, a checklist. I have a quick start checklist for you. And I also have a hook cheat sheet. I've got you. I'm going to give you some things to start with. And of course, feed these into, if you're using chat, or if you have a clone already, or some type of AI thing, feed these things in, add your own personality to it, and sky's the limit. And to wrap this all up in a nice little bow, I just want to truly say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time and investing in yourself, and investing in your business, and investing in your company and your brand and your personal brand, and doing some. I know you're going to have fun with this. Don't overthink it. Just go. And I also want to thank you for supporting the chamber. You chose to purchase this webinar, and all of the money goes to the Lake Havasu City Chamber of Commerce. This was something that I am on the board this year, and I really wanted to bring something to the organization that I feel every single business, every single member will find benefit in. If you need this extra push, or if you need this extra component, and you need somebody like myself to share my wins, share things that have worked for me, and share some knowledge, I'm happy to do that for you, and I'm super excited for you. If you need to reach me for any reason, you've got my information right here. You can, please, I invite you to follow us at Mojave Mortgage. We are Mojave Mortgage, at Mojave Mortgage, on pretty much every platform. So I look forward to seeing you out there on the internet, or at a chamber mixer. So again, thank you so much, and I wish you so much success on your business. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you soon. I'll see you somewhere. I know I will.